Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory. Aren't international breaks wonderful? No, they're absolutely terrible. I can't get my head around the utility of these international breaks. I hate them, but it's a very much needed break. We needed to recharge, we needed a rest. I'm just scared that this international break is going to ruin our rhythm a bit and our momentum, but it is what it is. A lot of these players need a rest. They've been playing phenomenally in these past few weeks. They've also been very unlucky. So I'm happy that they're gonna rest a bit, and we'll be back next weekend, of course, where our path to the 9 finals to potentially and miraculously reach the Champions League is yet again going to start away at Lecce. But look, we've got plenty of time before the league restarts. And of course, would it be a Roma season if Paulo Dybala doesn't get injured? Would it be a Roma season if Paulo Dybala doesn't get injured towards the end of the season? Would it be a Roma season? No, it wouldn't. And that is exactly where the dark magic, the black magic, that I don't know why, but it seems like we've possessed a demon up there, and this demon, wherever he is constantly reminding us that we behaved very bad with him. And Dybala injured, and it's a big blow because Dybala is going to miss almost a month of football. And I have to be honest with you, I don't want to be pessimistic, but I think Dybala misses more than a month. I've seen an article, I've read an article this morning of a doctor who isn't the doctor who checked Dybala up. But I read this article saying that, from this doctor, saying that the times of recovery that have been assigned to Dybala, seen the injury that he had, which is a very rare injury, or very, very forced, in a sense that he might also need a surgery. If he decides, of course, up to in these next couple of days, he'll have more, confrontations with other doctors, and then he will decide. But I read an article saying that a surgery on him is not excluded because it's a very rare injury, and because it's not his classic muscle injury, it's an injury on his ligament, on his tendon behind his knee. It's a very, very, very delicate point. So, again, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not planning to be a doctor in the future. So I am not an expert in that field, and I am not trying to act as an expert. But I have read an expert talk about his situation, and he has said that a month is very positive coming from other doctors. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see the recovery plan that he will submit. But it's a blow. It's a very big blow. It always happens towards the last few months of the season. In the final sprint, in the final rush, he always gets injured. It's a constant throughout a Roma season. Thank God with this season we've got more availabilities, we've got more options. But these options, it's time for these options to break free. And this is what I want to speak about today. I want to speak about how Dybala's injury impacts our season. And I want to speak about Matthias Soulé. It's his time to shine. It's his moment to pick this team up, bring it on his shoulders, and run through these last few months with him. It's exactly time for Matthias Soulé. Also others. I look at Tommasino Baldanzi. And look, I'm going to throw the statement out there. Lorenzo Pellegrini's comeback. Dybala out. Can it be an ultimate comeback from the captain before his farewell this season? I don't know. This is what I want to speak about today. Let me know what you think in the chat about Dybala's injury, about Soule. It's his time to shine. And yeah, ask questions because I'm going to take it chill today. I'm not going to go live for more than 20-25 minutes. But if you have questions, pop them in the live chat. I don't usually have time to read all of them because of how restricted times are. But yeah, these are the live streams to do it. During the international breaks is the time to ask questions, and I'll try to get through the most of them. So, Ibrahim Wali, thank you very much for the $20, mate. I was hoping he plays against Juventus. Yeah, it's a blow. It's definitely a blow. And I thank you for your super chat. That's not a blow. That's not a blow. That's very kind of you. Wow. You know when water is that fizzy? I was not expecting it to be that fizzy. You know when... Am I not the only one that when you drink fizzy water, like very fizzy water, I get spasms? Surely I'm not the only one. Right. Thank you very much, Ibrahim Wali. Thank you again. Do you think Dybala will lose his form and his importance in Rome after returning from the injury? Well, yeah, let's speak about Dybala. So, people have said that he's going to miss a month. Some other people have said that he could potentially be missing more than a month. Now, as I said yesterday, or whenever it was in the match reaction, thank God it happened now. Thank God it happened now. Now, I know that it's more serious than we all thought, but still, thank God it happened now. I would much rather Dybala got injured against Cagliari than he gets injured in 1 month when we will still have 1 month of action. At least now we've got 2 weeks where we won't be playing, where most of the players are going to rest this initial week and then gradually get back training coming from their international breaks. So I'm like, okay, it's more serious than what we all initially thought. But still, I stick with my words and say, thank God it happened now. Because at least right now, he can count 2 weeks out of his month international break. If it had been in 3 weeks' time, and he had been out for a month, he was going to miss like six games. Now at least, he's only going to miss 3. If not a bit more. But let's say he misses 3 games. Which is a pain, which is a blow, but it's not the end of the world. Apparently, he's going to miss the game against Lecce, the game against Juventus, and a lot of people say the derby against Lazio. Very important games, all of them. Every single game that we play from now until the end of the season is a final and has to be treated as a final. So not having our best player is going to be a blow. But I think the irritating thing here is that we're losing a player who, for the first time in I'd say almost 5 years, was actually quite injury-less. Like, this was Dybala's season. This was his season. I mean, it's not a surprise that before this injury, the last time he got injured was in October, I think. So it's the first season in a while where he actually found a treatment and a recovery plan that was actually helping him. So that is the biggest blow. Losing a player who was on very good form because of his restricted injuries this season. But at the end of the day, he's still a very fragile player. So we can't hide that. And it is what it is. Yeah, he's going to miss the game against Juventus, the game against Lecce, and the game against Lazio. But this is where I come in and say, this is time for Matthias Soule to get this team on his shoulders and carry us to success. I've always believed in him. I've always believed in Matti Soule. We've grown together with Soule this season. He's still far away from perfection. I'm not even trying to compare. I'm not even trying to put in the same sentence Soule and game changer and perfection. Because Soule is far away from a game changer and thus very far away from perfection. But I think this season we've grown with him. Not only have we grown with him in a sense that at the start of the season he was playing very bad and we were all playing very bad, and we've come to improve together. But I think since Claudio Ranieri arrived, he's helped Soule mentally so much. I'd argue Soule is the player that Claudio has kind of revitalized the most. But maybe it wasn't even a matter of revitalization. Maybe it was only a matter of confidence. Because imagine being Soule, wanting and arriving in Rome because of Daniele De Rossi, who pushed for you, who wanted you, who needed you, and really was the reason you signed for us, was because of a manager who called you, who told you that you were going to be a very big player for the long-term project. So then you buy Soule, and at the same time, you buy Soule to let Dybala go, because that's a theory that People may believe or not believe. I certainly believe it. We bought Matthias Soule because Dybala was deemed to leave. Okay, so we did this. We did X because Y was going to happen. Then, so Soule was ready to mentally be and mentally become the vice Dybala. All of a sudden, out of the bloom, Dybala stays, and so he restricts your game time, because if Dybala stays, Soule will of course play less because Dybala is a better and more proven player than you. Not only that, after 4 game weeks into the season, they sacked the manager that gave you that confident boost to appoint a manager who never played you, who never even subbed you in. It's been a very tough season for him. And I have never descended from Matthias Soule's train, let's call it, because I knew his potential from the very beginning. And it's not a surprise that in recent game weeks, he's starting to win us games. He's starting to become, from a player who initially struggled, also in terms of composure on the pitch, now we have a player who's improved. Now we have a player who not only has improved, but is more confident with himself. So I massively rate him, and this is why I want to see him kind of get into Dybala's shoes and live Dybala's moment. That doesn't mean that we need to ask Soule to be Dybala, because that's like asking, I don't know, give me an example. That's like asking David Neres, who plays for Napoli, to be Vinicius Jr. No, because Matthias Soule is not Paulo Dybala. Paulo Dybala is the best player in the league. So there's a category jump between Soule and Dybala. But there will be that day that Dybala will not be here anymore. And that day, in order to prepare for that day, that Soule, whether or not he will be the proper Dybala replacement, there will be the day that Dybala won't be here anymore and Soule will play more. So these are the moments that Soule needs to exploit to also, on an environmental point of view, prepare for the day that he will need to get the best out of himself. Starting now. April. I look at April. April for me is Soule's month. April for me is the month where Soule needs to not only prove himself, but prove that he is the signing that we did this summer, that we accomplished this summer, that was Dybala's replacement, that was supposed to be Dybala's replacement. Prove this to me now. Prove this to me now. We have to get points. We need points. We will struggle without Dybala. Yes, we will. But I believe in Soule, and it's time to catch the wind. Matty, it's time to catch the wind. So yeah, that's what I was saying. Do you think Dybala's injury would... Oh yeah, we read that. I really want to go to Rome, but I also want Dybala to play, so it would also be a shame if he won't play. I wanted to see another Dybala versus Guendouzi, but hopefully he gets better as soon as possible. Do you think that Dybala being injured will impact us in the away derby match? Well, I think Dybala being injured will impact us in every single game. It will, because he's your best player. And Dybala is the player that does things that nobody else on this pitch can do, in this team can do. So it is going to impact us. It's unlucky that he got injured, and it is going to impact us. I'm not saying that Dybala's injury, let's try to dodge Dybala getting injured and try new solutions. Well, yeah, partially that is what I am saying. But I'm saying now that he's injured, now that our best player is injured, it's also time for us fans to boost that confidence in other players. And I'm looking at Soule number 1, Baldanzi number 2, and I will throw him in the mix to open another debate. What if Pellegrini's moment is this? What if Pellegrini's moment to revitalize and get his Roma back is April and May? That can come on a completely different debate, my opinion doesn't change on Pellegrini. I think his time at Rome is done. I think in the summer he'll be sold. I think the manager doesn't rate him anymore. I mean, it's the classic example of a manager who tried but failed to recover him. I think, look, I'd actually argue that the only manager who will get Pellegrini back going for Roma, if we were to appoint a manager this summer, the only manager who can get Pellegrini back going. Now, this doesn't mean I want this manager or not. But the only manager who can get him back going is Maurizio Sarri. And I'm convinced when I say this. Now, that doesn't mean that Sarri will come or not, or that I want Sarri or not. But Pellegrini is the classic player that would have an incredible season under Sarri. Regardless of this summer he will leave, and I am basically convinced about this. We have a situation where the manager tried to give him some minutes, give him some game time, but he really hasn't seen that I don't know how you even phrase it, that willingness to prove yourself as the Roma captain. And I think as a result of this, the team also doesn't even relate to him as if he's our captain still. I mean, this would be a very interesting question. Like, if there were secret cameras inside Trigoria, one of the things that I would ask these secret cameras is, show us the approach, the behavior, the composure that players have towards Pellegrini. Do they still reckon that he's our captain? Because if I was a Roma player and he doesn't play anymore, I don't see him as a captain anymore. The captain needs to be present on the pitch. So I think Mancini is the captain now. So yeah, I think it can be his moment to kind of get that last push. But at the end of the day, I don't think it will happen, because I think we lost Pellegrini mentally. More than physically, more than on a fitness level. We lost him here. And I think when you lose that, it's very hard to get it back. And I think he will leave this summer. You spoke about buying a new second choice striker in the summer. Who do you think we could get? That's a very tough question. That's a very tough question. I mean, you know what I would do? You know what I would do? Speaking about striker, people definitely ask about Dovbyk. Yeah, you think Dovbyk should leave in the summer? No. Absolutely not. I am fully against selling Dovbyk this summer, because a striker needs more than one season to judge him. 100%. I am convinced that with more reinforcements, with 1 year of experience in his blood, Dovbyk will be better. Dovbyk isn't a bad striker. The problem is that Dovbyk still needs to understand how to play as a striker in this league and how to play in this team. So no, I would not sell Dovbyk. I think his performances are going to follow an ascent rather than a descent. But we do need a second striker, because as much as I like Shomurodov recently, again, I still don't think we should keep Shomurodov as a second striker. Keep him as a third striker or sell him. And that's just my opinion. I think as a second striker, I would look at somebody like who can I give you an example? Somebody like what's his name? Sebastiano Esposito, the guy from Empoli. Somebody like him who knows how to play in Italy, who's ideally Italian, because I'm against having three strikers all not Italian. Somebody like them, somebody who maybe has different characteristics to the lot too. You see? Did you hear Raja Nainggolan's comments on Roma about believing in top four? Yeah, absolutely, I did. If Juventus managed to sack Motta for next season, do you think Roma should strive to get him as their new coach? No, absolutely not. because I think Motta is not a manager who survives in a lot of pressure. He doesn't. And I'm not just saying this because he's doing bad. Because yes, 60% of the blame that you put for Juventus this season is on Thiago Motta. But the remaining 40% is the players' fault and the way that Juventus is run right now. So he is to blame, but not fully. The problem with Thiago Motta, and you can see this, even as an outsider who doesn't like Juventus, you can tell that Thiago Motta, in moments of pressure, in moments of chaos, in moments of crisis, doesn't know what the fuck to do. He was losing 3-0. No, sorry. He was losing 2-0 against Fiorentina on Sunday, and he subs in 3 defenders. Come on. Like, I understand that you need to avoid losing 5-0, but a manager who's losing 2-0 and puts 3 defenders on the pitch? And the other problem with Motta, people can criticize Gasperini as much as they want on man management. Motta is equally as bad. I don't like Vlahovic. I don't like Vlahovic on a behavioural point of view. I rate him as a player. I think he's had good seasons. I think he's a proven striker, yes. But the way Vlahovic got treated, I mean, people will argue Vlahovic deserves that treatment. I don't even care. But Vlahovic got disintegrated publicly, and nobody knows why. Nobody knows why Vlahovic got disintegrated publicly, demolished. Vlahovic got the way Juventus and Thiago Motta have treated Vlahovic is beyond words. Is beyond words. Vlahovic got treated as a chicken. They bought Kolo Muani. Vlahovic doesn't even play 1 minute anymore. And of course he plays like this right now. Of course he makes mistakes after mistakes, misses penalties after penalties. How can you possibly expect a player to play well when you have mentally destroyed him in front of every single one, not only of us watching from outside, but in front of your teammates like this? Thiago Motta, in terms of man management, is so bad. And I truly believe that in teams that fall under pressure, Roma are one of them, Motta is a bang average manager. Motta's like Gasperini. Motta's like Gasperini. Great tactician, but put him in a team that has bigger objectives than Bologna, no disrespect to Bologna, or to Genoa. Put him to a bigger environment, bigger atmosphere, bigger mediatic pressure, and Motta crumbles. So absolutely no, keep him away from Roma at all costs. Do you think Roma should buy Dusan Vlahovic? Well, I don't like Vlahovic, but in Italian we say, ma magari avercelo. I mean, if you want to present your season with Vlahovic and Dovbyk and Shomurodov, I'm all for it. That's a team that can challenge for the Scudetto. But again, you need money. You need Champions League qualification. But it would be a great signing. I don't care. I don't like him. He's a prima donna. But you need quality on the pitch. So Vlahovic, Dybala know each other, and it would be a lethal duo. So yes, I would get Vlahovic 100%. And I think he will leave this summer. But yeah. Right. Do you think we could swap Tammy for Luca, and would you do it? Well, Tammy would not want to go to Udinese, I can tell you that for free. I would do it, yes, but it's not going to happen. Would you keep Salamakers? Yes, I would, and I need to keep him. I love Salamakers. I'm in love with that player. I need to get his jersey before he leaves, because at least it'll be a memory if he doesn't stay. Right, lads, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to catch you tomorrow. We'll do another one of these debates, chats, and speak about the recent news. Hit the like, subscribe. If we can get 100 likes in this video, we'll do a similar live stream tomorrow, and I'll respond to all questions which haven't been answered today. And we'll speak about more recent news. So 100 likes today. Hit the like, subscribe. Good night, and I'll talk to you soon. Mile says good night. Ovunque proteggimi. That's your lucky charm. Bye bye. Speak to you soon. Simo out.